Okay guys, this is the 4.1 notes using graphs to relate to quantities. Okay, so basically what we're doing in chapter 4 is we're doing something called functions. Okay, and the basic idea of functions is they're just graphs. Okay, so we're going to get into a lot more of what functions are and all that stuff, but for right now we're just going to look at graphs and see if we can talk about what they're doing. Let me get my face out of there. So problem 1. Analyzing a graph. The graph shows the volume of air in a balloon as you blow it up until it pops. What are the variables? Describes how the variables related are at various points in the graph. Okay, so here it gives us our graph, and basically what we're doing is we're trying to analyze the graph to understand what is actually happening. So the first part is describe the variables. Okay, so describe the variables. Well, our first variable is volume. Okay, so we have volume, and I apologize for my writing with this thing, but hey, it's actually not that bad. Okay, so volume, and our next variable is time. Okay, so those are my two variables, volume and time. So if you notice on our graph, and once again, we're just looking at the graph and thinking about what's actually happening. So as we're blowing this balloon up, okay, we all of a sudden go really, really high, really fast. Then we hit a level of flatness, okay? And if you've ever blown a balloon up, I wish I had a balloon to show you, but you blow initially, and this is when they stop here, this flat part, these three flat parts, those are when they're catching their breath, okay? So it's not like a fart sound, but like you get the idea, right? Okay, that's going to be great on the video. So we're doing that, so we blow, take a breath. We blow up the balloon, we take a breath. We blow up the balloon, we take a breath. We blow up the balloon, and all of a sudden we get here and it drops instantly. Okay? So that drop instantly is right here. That's when it pops. Okay? So hopefully that makes sense. So once again, we start at 0, 0. When you get a balloon, we spent 0 time blowing it up and it's got 0 air in it. We blow the balloon, we take a breath. We blow in the balloon, we take a breath. We blow in the balloon, we take a breath. We blow in the balloon, burst, it pops, it instantly drops back into 0, because once your balloon pops, does it have any more volume in it? Does it have any more air in it? No, it's just done. Okay, so that's what that graph is talking about. So if we scroll on down here, let me get this out of here. Okay, so we scroll on down here, the June cell phone cost. Okay, so once again, we need to establish what our variables are. Well, our variables are going to be cost and minutes of calls. Okay, so I don't know if you guys ever have actually looked at your phone bill. Okay, I don't know if you've actually looked at your phone bill, but if you use 0 minutes, it still costs you something just to have your phone. Okay, so that's why if you look at my graph here, it doesn't start at 0, it starts up here. Because if you ever look at your phone bill, or you are familiar with the way phone companies work, okay, and you've seen the commercials, it's like $40 per line, okay? So there's your $40 before you even do anything, okay? And then it goes flat all the way to this point, okay? So let's just make some numbers up here. The reason it's flat here, so if you ever seen the commercials, it's like $40 or $100, let's say. Actually, let's take the minutes out of it. You guys use data now, right? So there's a new commercial by Verizon. It's like, you know, it's $100 for 18 gigs of data. Okay, so it's $100 for your first 18 gigs of data. Once you reach that thing of data, okay, so you can use either 1 gig of data or 10 gigs of data or 18 gigs of data. It doesn't matter to them because you've already paid for the full 18. So it's just a flat rate until you reach 18. Then all of a sudden, boom, the price goes up. Okay, so once again, you should think about this. Let's go back to minutes. So if you spend $100 for, let's say, 200 minutes on your cell phone, okay, it's $100 no matter if you use 1 minute, 5 minutes, 100 minutes, or 200 minutes. But once you hit 201, then it starts spiking up exponentially. Okay, it just right up there. Okay, so hopefully that makes sense. Hopefully, okay. On problem 2, a band allowed fans to download its new video from a website. The table shows the total number of downloads after 1, 2, 3, and 4 days. Which graph represents the table? Well, if we look at our table, okay, so day 1, okay, we go here. Day 2, it grew pretty fast, right? We gained about 700 people. Okay. Between day 2 and 3, we gained about 2,400 people, and then finally by day 4, we gained about 7,000 people. Okay, so first of all, we're going up, so we can get D out of there right away because D's going down. Okay, and if you look, we grow kind of fast here, then all of a sudden we're growing super fast here. So A is a straight line. Well, is our people going in a straight line? Excuse me. No, we're not growing in a straight line because we're adding exponentially. C looks like we start off quick, but then we kind of stop. Do we stop here? No, we're growing even higher. So the correct answer is B, right? We start off slow. By day 2, we get a little higher, then woo, it gets way up there. Okay, so this is what this graph looks like if I continued it. So we're start off slow, and then all of a sudden, whoop, which is what the table is telling us. Okay, so once again, questions on this, we'll talk about it. But once again, most of us should be able to see these two are connected. And then finally, problem 3. Let me get out of here so that way we can. Oh, I guess you're gonna have to hear it. Let me move my face for you. Let me move my face. Okay. So, a model rocket rises quickly and then slows down as its fuel burns out. It begins to fall quickly until the parachute opens, after which it falls slowly back to Earth. What sketch of a graph could represent the height of the rocket during its flight? Label each section. Okay, so we start here at 0, 0, correct? We start on the ground with no fuel. Okay, then it says the model rocket rises quickly. So we're going to rise quickly, right? Okay, so actually we should probably label our axes first too. So let's just start over. Let's start over. Okay, so we're going to need time down here. Okay, so there's time, and then we probably want what? Height. How high our rocket goes. Height. Okay, so once again, we start off at 0, 0. We haven't gone anywhere. We're not off the ground yet. We're still at 0, 0. Then it says the model rises quickly. Okay, so as time goes, we're going to get higher and higher and higher. Okay, so this is the quick rising part. Then slows. Okay, so we're still rising, right? But we're just not rising as fast. So now let's change colors just to show it's a different section. So we're going to rise a little slower. Okay, so first we rise quickly. Just boom, we shot straight up. Then once that fuel starts burning out, we're still rising, but we're going to get here. Then we're going to reach our peak. Okay, so we're going to shoot up. We're going to kind of putter. We're going to stay up at the top for a very, very, very short time. Okay, and then we're going to start falling quickly. Okay, so falling quickly is shooting right back down to Earth. Okay, so we rose really quick. Okay, whoosh. Then we kind of still rose, but it was slower. Then we hit our top, right? Then we started falling back down to Earth more quickly, and then finally it says that the parachute opened and we drove slow. And make sure we want to get all the way back down here. Okay, so once again, imagine lighting off a rocket in your head. Boom, we shoot up real high. We kind of stall as the fuel burns out. Okay, then we hit our peak height for a very, very short time. We just sit up there and then we start falling back down quickly until the parachute opens. So right here the parachute opened, and then we slowly went back down to Earth. Okay, so once again, do you have any questions on anything? Make sure to put a question. I'm about to sneeze. It's going to be great. Hopefully I'll put this on camera. Don't worry, guys. Woo! Excuse me. So, hopefully you don't have any questions over anything. Hopefully I didn't sneeze all over the camera so it's all like colorful. I can only imagine it's going to be. Okay, so yeah, so if you have questions, put them down. We'll go over this in class on block day, and hopefully you guys will have your test back and everything, so you guys will see how you did.